The telecom sector, where players they want the communication service tax to be scrapped completely. According to them, the tax is a nuisance tax which makes it difficult for them to make more revenue, whilst government also accrues more in income tax. Ken Ashbe is the chief executive of the Telecoms Chamber.
Because of COVID and the fact that we had to do a lot of virtual things, yes, the networks, the data usage went up. But you need to bear in mind, it is in the same period that we're talking about the networks benefiting that you've had Airtel decide to leave the market. You think that any shareholder would decide to leave a market that they are cashing in and they are making, extra profits? So it just tells you that there are difficulties also in the industry. The cost of doing business in the industry is quite high. The issues of taxation is quite high. And these are conversations that we are having with government. Fortunately for us, if you take the party that, the MPP, if you look at their manifesto, they themselves in the manifesto talk about the fact that they will look into further reducing the cost of data by reducing licensing and spectrum fees. So these are conversations that we all need to have together to ensure that the telecommunication sector that is currently the workhorse that is pulling other industries, including the media industries, up. We are able to support it so that we also are able to reduce the cost of providing this service that now is not just a utility, but it's also a human right. So yes, the telecommunication sector was not as badly impacted as other industries, but it also had its fair share of challenges.
You raised concerns about taxation and levies. The argument is your chamber or your sector makes a lot of profits. What do you have to say about that?
One of the shareholders, Airtel, within the Airtel Tigo brand, has decided to leave the market, and government had to step in as a step, to ensure the continuity of it. And the question I ask is that you think that any businessman who is making a lot of profit would leave the market? No, it's not. You see, and so currently for every 1 cedi that you and I spend, about 48 pesos of that goes back to the government in forms of taxes, in form of levies, fees, and all of that is charged. Had it not been for the engagement that we had with the EPA, the new executive director, EPA had gone to Parliament towards the end of 2019 and had resulted in increments of their permit by over 500%. We had to, but then it's been passed by Parliament, so we had to get back to the EPA and go and negotiate payment terms for that. That is a hike in the cost of permitting for the tower companies. We have the situation where Ghana Highway Authority, they charge for the use of their reservations, and unfortunately, it's only the telecommunication sector that we are charged $280. It's not even in cedis, dollars per kilometer when we lay fiber within the reservation. Now the Ghana Highway Authority wants to charge the same $280 per kilometer when you even string cables that are not buried underground. So there are a lot of costs, that are involved in the telecommunication sector. Don't forget, there were some Ghanaian companies that were given licensing to run, data services. A lot of them have, folded up. It just tells you how difficult.